another eyebrow-raising ruling, the Pokhara High Court's verdict has clashed against Supreme Court order to remove infrastructure around Phewa Lake. The decision means that attempt to save Phewa Lake from land encroachers has hit a snag for the time being. Good morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan. Let's begin with the top stories this hour. Political pressure mounts against Public Service Commission to suspend the staff appointment process at local levels. Over 50,000 applications already filed for the vacancies. Pokhara High Court issues an interim order clashing with the Supreme Court verdict regarding the removal of illegal infrastructure encroaching Phewa Lake. A group involved in tampering with petrol pump meters in a bid to assist traders deceive customers found active across the country. And New Zealand hammer Afghanistan by 7 wickets. Australia taken India in today's high-profile ICC World Cup encounter. Let's begin with national political updates. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli left for his 9-day official visit to Europe yesterday evening. A high-level delegation including Foreign Minister Pradeep Gyawali, Labour Minister Gokarna Bista is accompanying Prime Minister Oli. The Prime Minister is scheduled to address the centenary function of the International Labour Organization, which is to be participated by the heads of states of 40 different countries. Prime Minister Oli is also scheduled to hold some bilateral meetings with his English and French counterparts. ILO's 100-year anniversary function is being held in Geneva, Switzerland on 10th of June. On the same day, Premier Oli will travel to London to deliver a speech at the Oxford University. Premier Oli is also scheduled to hold bilateral talks with Britain's outgoing Prime Minister Theresa May in terms of potential agreement on trade and investments, along with issues regarding the former British Gurkha Army. Likewise, Premier Oli will also hold bilateral discussions with his French counterpart Edouard Charles Philippe and discuss expanding the relations between the two countries. He is to return home on 16th of June. And moving on, the Public Service Commission announced vacancies for 9,161 staffers at the local level. However, the announcement has drawn criticism from different quarters, as many have alleged that the move has violated the norms of inclusivity and infringed on the constitutional rights of provincial and local governments. Even the Parliamentary Committee has recently hinted towards interfering in the recruitment process. The number of 45% reserved positions for the total vacancies announced by the Commission would have been 4,100. The Commission has said that overall 2,200 quotas could have, however, been included within the reserved category, citing that distribution of quotas at all levels of government was not possible owing to the staff requirement. However, the Parliament's State Affairs Committee also has persistently raised the issue of reservation. As many as 50,000 individuals have already filed their applications for the vacancies announced by the Public Service Commission, and the number is rapidly growing. In this context, analysts have questioned if the lawmakers' attempt to suspend the recruitment process is justifiable due to the fact that there has been hardly any effort to rectify the conflicting constitutional provisions in this regard, and that the process of recruiting new staffers has significantly moved ahead on the request of the government itself. And time now for a short break. For more news, do stay with us. Welcome back. Pokhara High Court has issued an interim order clashing with the Supreme Court verdict regarding the removal of illegal infrastructure encroaching Phewa Lake. The Supreme Court last April had issued an ordinance in the name of the government to remove infrastructure within a radius of 65 meters surrounding Phewa Lake in Pokhara. Acting on the Apex Court order, Pokhara Metropolis issued a public interest notice to remove the infrastructure within the restricted boundary just over 2 weeks ago. The Metropolis had also threatened to remove the infrastructure on its own, giving a 15-day deadline. However, Pokhara High Court issued an interim order blocking Supreme Court order not to remove the infrastructure surrounding Phewa Lake within a radius of 65 meters yesterday. The latest High Court order means that efforts to conserve land around Phewa Lake has hit a snag for the time being. It has been come to the light that a group involved in tampering with petrol pump meters so to assist the traders deceive the customers has been active across the country recently. The gang has been found to have tampered with the pump meters by installing a counterfeit software to deceive the customers with the quantity of fuel they purchase. The group of criminals have also been found to have broken the seals of petrol pumps set by the Bureau of Standards and Metrology. According to a recent investigation, the gang or the group has also been receiving support from some Indian technicians on installing the deceptive software device and cheating the customers. And we have more news coming up, but right now it's time for another short break. And in our public voice segment, we had asked the service seekers of Kapilvastu Municipality Ward number 9 office how different is the recent service delivery compared to earlier days. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public voice.
जन्म दर्ता बनाउन भयो अनि नागरिकता बनाउन भयो अनि हामीले पाउने सेवाहरू राम्रा छन् सजिलै तरिकाले दिइराख्नु भएको छ
हाम्रो यहाँ काम गरेको पैसा बाँकी थियो त्यही भएर लिन आएको थिए छिटै गर्दिए काम
एकछिन बस्नै पर्छ जला पनि छिटो अब खासै हुन्न भिडभाड भएकै हुन्छ डेली
छोरीको जन्म दर्ता बनाउन आथे छिट्टै भयो जन्म दर्ता अनि आफ्नो बिहा दर्ता पनि छिट्टै भयो
पहिला भन्दा अहिले अलिकति समस्याहरू देखिएछ अनलाइन सेवाको कारणले किन भन्दा कहिले लाइन नहुने इन्भर्टर पनि नभएको अवस्था छ यो वडामा सोलर पनि छैन अहिले
घर कर त्यसैगरी दलितको प्रमाणपत्रको लागि सिफारिस छिटो समयमै मैले पाएको छु
वडाबाट पाउने सेवा सुविधाहरू भने बेला हुँदैन अलि ढिलो हुन्छ
And it's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where it texts us with her opinion.
Public Pulse.
And the question is, what's your take on the ongoing organized cheating on petroleum products? Here options are A, nexus with regulators, option B, weak monitoring, and option C, consumers not being aware. The voting for the question is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And before we wrap up this morning news bulletin, here's a look at the top stories one more time. Political pressure mounts against Public Service Commission to suspend the staff appointment process at local levels. Over 50,000 applications already filed for the vacancies. Pokhara High Court issues an interim order clashing with the Supreme Court verdict regarding the removal of illegal infrastructure encroaching Fewa Lake. A group involved in tampering with petrol pump meters in a bid to assist traders deceive customers found active across the country. And New Zealand hammer Afghanistan by 7 wickets. Australia taken India in today's high-profile ICC World Cup encounter. And those were our latest headlines. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTVSD. Good day.